In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the bottom seat cushion on this Dodge Ram 2500. We're working on the driver's seat, but the passenger side seat will be the exact same procedure, just the other side cushion. Let's get started. We have to unbolt the seat from the floor to get this out of here so we can actually work on it. On the front, it has two 15mm headed bolts that we have to remove. Take these out, set them aside. On the back, you'll see the two bolts that go straight down through the floor. These are 18mm in size, no longer a 15. So remove both of these as well. You're going to have to do the same exact thing to the passenger side seat because the entire front is actually connected. So as you can see, if I try to lift it, the tab that goes down there will want to lift the center console. So we'll have to pull the other side off so we can tilt this and unbolt it all. At this point, you're going to have to remove the center console here if this is what you have. If your truck has a seat here, you'll just have to leave it because this won't be here, and you'll just have to skip to the next step basically. I'm just going to pull up on this and this should pop out just like this. I'll set this aside right over here. There we go. And now with the center console removed, you should be able to lift, oops, don't adjust that, lift the front seat. It's going to lift up the whole thing. There we go. Tilt it back. This gives us access to the mounting hardware for the center console, and that will allow us to separate the left and the right seat. With this up, I propped it up so it can stay. I recommend that you do the same thing, that way you don't have to hold it. There's a wiring harness underneath the center console that we have to remove, so pop that red tab. This one popped off completely. It shouldn't always do that. I'll put it back later. And now you can press on this and disconnect that connector. With a trim tool, I'm going to remove the retainers for the wiring harness. That way I can get it off of the center console. There's one, and another one on this side. And you can push this wiring harness aside now. And there are four 13mm mounting nuts that hold the center console onto the seats. We'll have to undo all four of them. All right, that's all of them. So the center console can now be separated from the seats. Just like that, which will therefore release both of our seats. We're working on the driver's side, so we'll be removing this one. And because we're working on the driver's side, we have this harness that goes to the other harness that we unplugged earlier, as well as the seat belt and everything else. So we'll have to disconnect this. Press on that tab, separate the harness, and now this driver's side seat is ready to be removed. I'm gonna tie the harness up like this and kind of stick it through the frame just so it doesn't hang and get caught on anything as I remove the seat. There we go. At this point, you're gonna wanna either have a helper, or if you think you can do it by yourself, grab the seat under the headrest and underneath the bottom and pull it away from the vehicle. Just make sure that you don't scratch up any plastic or anything else that's in the way, because the anchor points can damage your plastic trim. Now with the seat out, we'll have a lot more space to work. And the first thing we're going to want to do is remove the recliner handle. I have a power seat here, so I have the switches, but if you don't have a power seat, you will just not have these switches. So all you have to do is take a Phillips head screwdriver and remove your handle. There we go. Once again, if you have power seats, you'll have to do the same over here. These screws will be quite a bit smaller though. Okay, take that cover off, pop the switches out, and this is why we had to remove this, because the cover for the cushion actually goes through here. Now, we don't have to disconnect anything here, but all we had to do is remove them so that when the cushion or the cover slides off, these can go through the cutout. Now flip the seat over. There are what's called J-hooks all over. They're just these plastic hooks that hold the cover for the seat cushion onto the frame of the seat. There are 7 of them in total. 2 of them are stacked right here. So just pry them and pop them free. I'm going to slide this out of place. That'll open the rear up. And then this one is going to be pretty tight on here. So I'll try to pry it away. There we go. Now just go on the sides, and you'll have to do the same thing over here. Just unhook them all. Get those switches poking through. Do the same on the front. And then there's going to be some on the bottom there. Now with the seat flipped the right way up, remove the cover on the seat. It does have some Velcro strips here. Looks like it's ripping up the cushion, but that's okay. We're replacing it anyway. Okay. Set that aside and lift up the cushion. There it is. Now grab your new seat cushion and slide it into position. In the back here, it'll have to get tucked in underneath the back. Make sure it actually goes through all the way so that it can seat fully. You'll have to kind of squish it in because this new one is not as formed. Yeah, it's cut out to the seat, but usually it forms around all these things that it has to go through. All right. There we go. That's how it's supposed to sit. Just like so. In the back. Let's flip it back over. Make sure that in the front it's pressed down all the way and goes around the frame of the seat, not in the way of the seat belt buckle here. On this side, that looks like it's fully seated. As you can see right here, we'll have to cut these pieces of foam out because we have switches. If you don't have switches, if you just have a manual seat, you're going to want to leave these here, otherwise it'll just look like a hollow space here. So that's why that's there. I'm going to take a razor blade and just cut through the foam here so I can remove these. Doesn't have to look perfect, of course. Just has to make enough space for the switches. And there we go. That is plenty of space. Just like that. That's how it'll mount. So, at this point, we're good to install the cover. Now let's take the cover, lay it over, and I'm going to hook it onto the front first. Well, not hook it, but lay it over the front. And then on the back here, if you remember, we had to pull it through, so it's going to go back the other way, push it through, and you can stick your other hand in the back just to help guide it. Both layers have to go through. The second one's a little tougher, but it's still doable. And then tuck the corners in. This whole flap has to go in the back. There we go. Just like this. Pull it tight. If it's not tight, you'll not only have a hard time clipping it in, but it's not going to actually attach properly. Pull it down on the corners and on the side. Make sure around the seatbelt buckle it actually goes around it and doesn't interfere with this. This is supposed to pivot around just like this. Pull it tight in the back again. There we go. Now I know this isn't secured yet, so what I'm going to do is press down on here. This should attach it to the Velcro. There we go. That is fully attached, no longer floppy in the middle, which is what you're trying to avoid here. So at this point, let's flip it over and clip it in underneath. I have the seat flipped over again. I'm pulling tight on the cushion, and let's hook this, this part in. All right, and then if you remember, the side actually has to go next. Right here, these switches are going to have to go through the hole. Pull this tight, and then on the back, you had this strap piece that has to hook onto this one. It's easier if you just slide one into the other. Now over this goes the final piece on the back, which is this larger hook. Plenty of slack on that one. Let's go to the sides. The sides here had their own hooks, 2 on each side. All right. And the other side, same thing. Okay. And lastly, on the front here, now unfortunately my hook is broken, so there's nothing I can hook into the front here, but if yours is still intact, go ahead and clip that one on as well. Let's install these covers. Start with this one over here, make sure the screws actually go in. Make them nice and snug. Perfect. And of course the recliner handle. This one is splined here, so when you slide it over, make sure it hooks on. Now obviously it doesn't hook on in any other way, so it can only go in one way, which helps. That's nice and tight and works. Now take the seat and bring it into the vehicle. Careful not to damage anything in the process. It is heavy, so if you need a helper, you're better off asking for help than damaging anything here. This wiring harness, make sure it doesn't get pinched. Mine's good, so because we have to connect it to the center console next, I'm going to tip this back, just like so. I have a jack stand here that's going to hold it up for me while I connect everything. Try not to make it sit on the motors if you have electric seats or power seats. That way it doesn't damage anything. We'll do the same on the other side and get the center console reconnected. Now let's grab the center console and clip it back onto the seats here. It's got 4 studs that need to line up. I have the mounting hardware for it ready, and I'm just going to start it on by hand so it doesn't fall back off. That way I can let go and actually tighten it up. Like I said, snug it up. These don't need to be extremely tight, they just need to be snug enough to hold this on properly. I had a wiring harness here that I'm going to clip on. And then of course I'll plug it in. Make sure that connector clicks. Over here we have another wiring harness to be clipped in. All right, that one clicked. remove any support that you had and bring the seats down. Now let's install this cup holder / center console piece. This one should just slide in. There we go. Now grab your 2 bolts and slide them into the seat. You might have to move this around just so the threads can start in. Let's snug these up. All right, that's tight. 21 foot-pounds is the torque for these front bolts. All right, let's move to the rear. Next, let's put the rear bolts in. These were the bigger ones, just like the fronts. Make sure they thread in nice and smooth, which both do. So let's snug them up. And let's torque them. These get torqued to 30 foot-pounds. That's 1 and 2. There we go. Now do the same to the other side seat, of course. Same torque specs, 21 on the front, 30 on the rear.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.